You have a son. He must be found.
Prepare the royal jet. We are going back to America.
Oh, hell no, Your Majesty. Come on.
Ooh, Craig, I'm so excited for you. Congratulations, you did
Look
it.
at you with your shimmer curtains and everything.
All for you. I know you had interviews all day, so I was like, let me wake my friend up real quick.
It's good to see you. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too. Let's get right to it. So I have to ask, this is such an amazing film, and you did it again with the one and only Eddie Murphy. So at one point, were you dubbed the director and it became real for you? Like, I'm really about to direct Coming to America.
You know, it was on a special night for me. It was a real special night because we were doing a screening of Dolemite at Netflix, and it was a real early cut of Dolemite, but it was working. It was kind of like really working, you know. And I had invited all the writers from Empire that we were working on Empire together, and I brought them over. I was like, come and see the movie. Let me know what you think. I want to hear like people like laughing at it or know what's working and what's not working. And Eddie showed up, and Eddie brought Arsenio. And there is this moment where I'm seeing all my friends in the back of the screening room, and then Eddie, and they're all talking, and then Eddie and Arsenio walk in, and they're just like, oh, there's Eddie, there's Arsenio, and they were just so excited to see Eddie and Arsenio in the room. And we sat down, and then in walks, rest his soul, my big brother John Singleton, because I invited him. So John comes in, and John is not quiet when he watches a movie.
One of them. Okay.
He gets real South Central. Fists are in the air, you know, and he's laughing. He's punching Eddie next to him and everything, and going crazy. So it was like this incredible screening. And then we were leaving the screening room, and Eddie's about to get into his car, and he turns around to me and he goes, "Oh, hey, are you down to do Coming to America? Because if you're down, then I can get the ball rolling on this." And Arsenio turned around, and Arsenio goes, "Wait, are you saying that we're going to do Coming to America?" He's like, "Yeah, man, we're going to do it again, and Craig will direct it." And then they got in the car and they left, and I was like, did that just happen in my life? You know, I just had this great screening, you know, all my friends and my mentor, you know, and then they just offered me Coming to America. So it was that was one of the dream nights.
Yeah, but when did it become real? Because I get the hype of that, and it's like you get in the car and you're on your way home. It's like, did this really happen? What was the follow-up behind that? Was it like a week later, a month later? It was like, you know, I was serious about that, right?
Oh no, I mean, it was immediately, because we had to immediately start getting, you know, we had wrapped, you know, we had just locked the picture of Dolemite, and now it was time to prep. I mean, we had to immediately get into it. Wow. So I think my next call was to Ruth Carter. I was like, how are we going to do this? And, you know, what are we going to change? What are we going to update? How do you feel about this? Should we do Coming to America? And she was like, yeah, we got to do Coming to America, you know, because we cared, you know, we really cared about the first movie, and we wanted to make sure that it was in the right hands, and we felt we were up to the task.
That's amazing. I'm so happy you're part of this. Now, I've read that it wasn't such a pleasant collaboration with the, you know, past director, bless his soul, John Landis. So people are dubbing you the Eddie Whisperer, you know, in Hollywood. So tell me, what is it about you two that just make it work so well? So much magic.
I think that there's like a true element of trust that happened on Dolemite. And I think it happened on the first shot of Dolemite. You know, I remember having Eddie do this one move. He was underneath the lights of a theater where he went and saw a movie, and he's like, I can make a movie too. And I told Eddie, I want you to walk over there by this poster and then come back and say this final line. He goes, why am I walking over there and then coming back? And I was like, well, can you just do it? And I promise if you don't like it, we won't do it. But let me just show you what I'm going to do. And he went over there, and when he walked back, I lowered the camera, and you could see that the theater lights were now visible behind his head. And I remember Eddie coming over and watching it, and he nodded, and then he didn't say anything, but he just went right back to work. And I felt like, okay, so maybe he's seen that I'm not just doing things for the sake of doing them. I listen to him, you know, I read his mood with ideas and what can work and what can't work. I think with a lot of the actors that I work with, I just like to create an environment where I'm sure that, you know how it is. You're sitting in the makeup chair, and you're like, oh, I got to do this. I got to be a part of this thing. And you can be the most confident person, but you're still spinning. You're still spinning like, is it going to work? Is it going to work? I want them when they come onto my set. I got some Al Green playing in the background. I come along, I go, we're going to make some entertainment here to everybody. We're going to play and we're going to make this work. And we're not going to leave till everybody's happy, And I think everybody really responded to that. And that's why Eddie and I tend to work well together, and everybody else.
We love it. One thing I love about this film too is that y'all brought back a lot of these nostalgic moments, from bringing back the McDowell and even the barbershop scene, of course, one of my favorites from the original, and Vanessa Bell Calloway in all her glory.
Thank you. In all her barking glory.
I love it. What was it for you that was your favorite moment to reintroduce to the world?
You really want my real honest opinion on this?
We keep it real with each other, Craig. Let's go.
I am happy that one of the greatest accomplishments of my life is bringing back Fresh Peaches and Sugarcube. When I told them, I was like, when Randy Watson plays, we have to have Fresh Peaches and Sugarcube, and nobody knew where they were. Nobody knew where are they? I mean, and they kind of were off the map. Like no one, they don't have agents and they don't have managers or anything like that. They're working and living in I think New Jersey or Queens. I can't remember which one. But we finally tracked them down. And it took like this one woman who was like a journalistic investigator, and she had to just find them through like records and stuff like that. And we finally got them. And I met them at a hotel, and I was like, I need you to be in my movie. And they're like, you flew here to New York to see if we could be in Coming to America. I was like, you don't know how much you mean to the fan base. I mean, to see you guys doing My Name is Peaches, it's Pavlovian. Like people you'll hear the first line. You could go into a bar right now and just go, my name is Peaches and I'm the best. And then just wait. Wait, you'll hear the whole, I know. And then they'll even beatbox and everything. And so I was like, that is just as important as seeing Reverend Brown.
My name is Peaches and I'm the best. All the DJs want to feel my breast.
And so that to me, bringing them out of retirement, flying them onto the set, they were there again, and people, and even the crew coming up is like, oh my God, are you Fresh Peaches and Sugarcube? Like they just got to be stars again. And that was the mood of Coming to America that I wanted to be. It's like, we're not here to replace the original, we're here to celebrate the original. This is for the fans to come in and have a Coming to America appreciation movie. That's what it is.
Yes, I love that. Speaking of celebration of the new cast, Tracy Morgan, Wesley Snipes, who you work with in Dolemite is My Name, Leslie Jones. Okay, which one were you most excited to work with on this set? And they are like improv geniuses. Did they have you cracking up to the point it was hard to do your job?
Yeah. What's really funny is that whenever I was going to be filming with Tracy, like I would start to hear music, and then he'd come walking in, and he had a guy, and his whole job was just to hold a boombox. And Tracy would be DJing with like old school R&B and stuff like that, and old school rap and everything. And we just for like a good 5 minutes, everybody's just kind of like grooving. And then Tracy would be like, okay, we gotta get to work. And then the music comes off, and we just start working. But I have to say that I really kind of in this movie kind of just really like fell in love with working with Leslie Jones. I think that Leslie is a real talent. I think she's great in the movie. She's got she comes off loving and kind of, she's really kind of the soul of the movie, where it's like everybody could say like, oh, this whole problem of like having like a kid that I didn't know about, and now I've got this extended family that I wouldn't want to have anything to do with. But she comes in and it's kind of like, hey, everything's fine, like everything's good. And there was just something about the attitude that she brought to that character that I didn't think that I would feel as much for her character when I read it on the page as when Leslie just started performing it.
We love that. I know I have to wrap it up. I do have one last question. Now, you're going to go down in history as one of the best directors to ever do it, just like your mentor, John Singleton. And I read in an interview, he spoke obviously highly of you. When it came to him investing in Hustle and Flow, he said it was because of your first film. And he said this guy deserves to be making films, and he wanted to serve as a father to your career. So if John was here today, what do you think he would say to you right
now? It's funny because the last day of filming, we filmed at the Tyler Perry Studios, and a majority of our work was done at the Harry Belafonte stage. But on the last day, the last scene that we needed to do, they were like, Craig, we need to move to a different soundstage. There's not enough room here. And I was like, well, which soundstage? And if you go to Tyler Perry's studio, like it's just all the African-American legends of cinema are his studios are named after. And they said, we're in the John Singleton stage. And on our movie, what we would do to honor John, because a lot of the crew, we had an enormous African-American crew. I mean, people in Atlanta were saying like, we've never been on a crew this black. And I was like, well, that's not me being current to the times. That's my big brother, John, on Hustle and Flow telling me, here's how you can pay it back, have a diverse crew. And so since 2005, that's how we've been doing it. But on movie sets, when you're done doing a scene, you say, new deal. All right, it's a new deal. And you move on to the next scene. And then everybody hears over the radio, new deal, new deal. Well, New Deal was the production company that John started when he was like in his early 20s. And all it did was he just wrote it on a leather jacket, New Deal Productions. And he walked into Columbia Pictures with Boys in the Hood. And they were like, what's New Deal Productions? And he was just confident and cocky. He was like, that's my production company, man. Well, that's the company that also made Hustle and Flow. And so instead of saying New Deal on my sets, I would say Singleton, and then the whole crew would go Singleton, and then we would move on to the next thing. And every actor and actress that would come on stage going like, why are you all saying Singleton? And then we would tell them about John, and then they'd get emotional. And I'd say like, there's so many terms that are named after white people on a set. We're starting something in honor of one of the greatest mentors of my life. I think that John would, he'd punch me in the arm, he'd give me a big hug, he'd tell me he loves me like he always did, and he'd say that you did good, Craig, and I owe so much to him. I really do.
I love that. Well, I just want to echo his sentiments. You did good, Craig. Amazing job.
Thank you, Jazzie. Thank you.
And thank you for setting this up for me. I really appreciate it.
Anytime.
All right.
Good to see you again, Jazzie.
It's good to see you too.